Now, as I end this piece, I ask this question. We heard from the negative folks. I like that. We heard from the positive folks. I like that. Here's my question. What's the difference between these two lists? And don't tell me one's negative and one's positive, because I got that part wired. What's the difference? Talk it up with your neighbor. See if you can isolate one thing that separates out these two lists. Okay, I got two hands going up. I'm going to go here first. What's the difference?
Depends on whether or not the change is in alignment with your original goal.
Okay, it depends on if the change is in alignment with your original goal. And I also say I like that, but I also know this. For those of you who have a significant other, in California we call them SOBs, significant other beings, you know this. They do or say something daily that didn't line up with my goal. If you have kids, they do stuff daily that doesn't line up with my goal. I do like that, but I'm going deeper. And I just heard it over there. Your worldview, and I'm going to sum it up in one word. It's this. It's your attitude. The only thing you have 100% control over is your attitude. Everything else happens around us, happens to us, but each day I wake up and I get to make a choice. Some of you who know me know the most significant personal change I had to incorporate in my life was this. I had a 14-year-old daughter who for 2 years was on a heart transplant list. For 2 years, lived with cell phones and pagers, and I always knew this. If anybody was going to get a heart, a 14-year-old girl was going to be at the very top of the list. 2 years later, we just ran out of time. It's the only thing in my life I couldn't buy my way out of, and I couldn't problem solve my way out of. But I also say this. When we left Children's Hospital that day, outside the ER, Blair Sadler Pavilion, there's a fountain. And my wife and I sat on that fountain, and we really did have this conversation. What are we going to do? And here was number one, to figure out this organ donor thing. It's a country club I could not gain admittance to, and I want to help someone in a similar position. And number two was this, what are we going to do to give back to all of the people who helped us going through this? And there was a ton. Today, my wife Kathleen is the bereavement coordinator at Children's Hospital. All she does is work with parents who have life-threatening illnesses with kids or who have lost a kid. And why this is a powerful personal change example for me is this. I've had the opportunity to work with a ton of parents who have lost kids, and I'm here to say this. It messes up some parents for life. Some don't ever get over it. But I also know this. You'll never get over it, but there's a really great way to grieve. You can honor that child. There's a really bad way to grieve, and it's going to cause you a lifetime of pain. But you consciously have to decide, which road am I going to travel? I end this with a humorous note. One time, my daughter got a report card. She was in the hospital, but I got it at home. She got a D in science. Kind of a taskmaster, and I looked at that and said, this is totally unacceptable. You don't care if you're in the hospital. We're not getting D's in the Stark family. I called her. I said, Brittany, I'm going to be in there about 4 o'clock today, and we are together going to come up with a game plan for science. I got there about 4, and I'll never forget, a wonderful nurse, her name was Karen Timmons, met me at the door and said this, you need to back off a little bit because she's been sweating it out all day. Your arrival. She and I already have the plan, and we don't need your help. I walked in and I said, bring it on. What's the plan? And Brittany looked at me and she said, Lisa, help me with this. She said, we don't wish anyone ill will, but we both decided that if this science teacher was to pass before I did, we want her heart. Because we want one that hasn't been used a whole lot. I go back and I end it with one word, attitude, and what excites me is I have choice. It's the only thing I got total control over, me.